So it's very interesting. I went back today and looked at the media day, opening day here when you met the media, and you turned to Frank and said your goal is to get another ring, and you told the GM, because it was such a nice ring, and here you are back in the playoffs, best record in the league. What are your takeaways from the regular season so far?
Well, we kept our core of position players pretty much together, guys that we had in 19 when we won it all. So, I'm looking for a lot out of those guys. Our starting rotation, we were able to set that as of last week. So, we're looking like we're in pretty good shape right now. We have some young guys in the back end of the bullpen that we've had to count on in this second half. And they did a fine job for us. Now it's the playoffs, so it could be a little bit different, but we have a couple of our starters down in the bullpen. De Leon's going to be in the pen. Iorio's going to be in the pen tomorrow. Whichever one of those we don't use would pitch game 3 for us. So as we're going in, Downs is going to start game 1 for us. I believe he did the same thing in 19. And then Harkin will start game 2 for us. So I feel comfortable with who we're starting for sure.
That's also interesting for people that aren't aware of the league. This round is a best of 3. You had the best record in the league, but yet you're playing 2 road games, but that was your choice. What went into that decision to open up here and then go on the road?
Well, it was really based on travel, and we knew that we played our last 3 games at home, and we wanted to stay home. We didn't want to have to travel after the game yesterday because we really didn't know who we were going to play. It could have been High Point, and that's a 11, 12-hour bus ride. So we figured they would have to travel and come to us and then have to go back to their place, and we just have to go one way. So, that was taken into consideration when we did it. So it didn't end up that way, but we got game 1 at our place, and we played well on the road as well, so it doesn't matter.
And we've had the discussion many times over the years. Every place you go, you win, all right? Come back here, you win again. Send players to the majors. If this was me, I would be somewhat pissed off. At some point you just say, all right, it's not going to happen, or is it still in the back of your mind that some organization is going to look at your body of work and say, why is this guy not at the major league level?
Well, I would certainly hope so. I've got to make a decision what I'm going to do after this year. I feel that I know where I'm supposed to be, and it hasn't happened yet. So, I really focus all my attention on the group of players that I'm with, like I am now with our guys here, and teach them the winning ways and what it takes to win. And they've been pretty good at it so far.
So that's the thing. You take a look at it, and you've won at every level. So, you don't have the huge analytics departments that major leagues have. When do you think baseball will realize that, right now, most of the managers in baseball are mid-level managers, and they kind of answer to management. When do you think baseball will get, you talked about launch angle and different things and how, you have to change a little bit, but when do you think the major leagues will get, the light bulb go off and say, it's so much more than analytics, it's managing a clubhouse and getting the most out of personality?
There's no question, the biggest, analytics, I use analytics here, and what I believe is going to help the team win games, the key for any manager, of course, is being able to motivate your players on a day in and day out basis. I can do that. I've done it my whole career. So, and I believe being able to motivate your players, that brings a winning atmosphere to the field. You have to still have talent, but it's the guys that can get more out of some of the talent that's you don't think has that much talent, and everybody will say, well, that's his best year ever, or whatever you want to say. I could go back and name a lot of those guys that are with the Mets right now that had their best years in AAA with me. So, I think it's motivating. Knowing how to run your bullpen is probably one of the very most important things, and I take a lot of pride in that stuff.
When you say some of the players there, you take a look at the ups and downs a player like Michael Conforto has. Obviously, a lot of that is mental. If you see it here, some of your players have gone through slumps. What role does the manager have? Because sometimes they just throw all these different stats and the way a pitcher's going to pitch him, and sometimes they just can't function with it.
It's all about communicating with your players. It really is. It's easy to sit a player down if he's struggling and say, hey, this is what I see. Let's take a look. You try to find time to do it. As a manager, you're more worried about what you're going to do during the in-game situations, but you got to be able to have time to sit down with your players one-on-one. It can't just always be the hitting guy that's talking to somebody. Your manager needs to talk to them too, so you can all stay on the same page. And that's what I try to do with all the coaches that I've ever had. I try to make them stay on the same page as I am.
So lastly, obviously most Met fans have already seen the ESPN special. In watching that special and seeing all your teammates talk about that experience, and now having another experience with the playoffs, what were some of the things that go through your head that you relate from that team to what you do here?
What happened, the way the clubhouse is ran, you have to have the right people in the clubhouse running your clubhouse for you. Players run the clubhouse basically, and so when you're putting a team together, you got to have those type of guys in your clubhouse, and so you don't have to worry about those type of things. And I'm able to hand pick my guys now, and it makes it nice because you know what type of attitude they're bringing to the park every day.
So let's just piggyback on that. That's something analytics can never show.
No,
how
analytics.
Do you do that?
By communicating with them all the time. You find out about every player that I sign to bring here. I call scouts. I call people that have been around these guys. I want to know what type of person they are in the clubhouse. I can look at all the analytics and all the numbers from them, but that doesn't tell you everything about a player. You got selfish players. You have players that give themselves up. You got to have a little bit of both. I think all players are somewhat selfish because they got to put numbers up, but it's the players that help you, especially when you get to the postseason, when you move a runner over but you make an out or whatever it might be. You're trying to help the team win, and I got 27 of those guys on this field that are trying to win and doing whatever it takes.
So you said something that was interesting. At the end of the season, you have to make a decision. I know you. You're a baseball. When you say you have to make a decision, is that decision, okay, put major leagues out of your head and continue doing this, or is it, okay, I'm moving on from baseball?
Well, I'm not positive yet. I know that I'll get to December and I'll be missing the game again. So I love winning and I love being on the field and managing games because I know for a fact that I can outmanage whoever I manage against over on the other side if it comes down to it. So I just got to wait and see. I just don't know yet.
Would your dream job be the manager of the Mets or even a coach on the Mets staff at this point?
No, I don't want to coach. I'm only going to manage, and that's going to be it. I have to be the one that I know that's running the game to feel confident about what's happening on the field.
Awesome. Best of luck, Wally.
Thank you.